All right, so we're here at the Little Wellness Arts Center, behind the scenes for a live Saturday night with my man Rick Sean, rapper from Philly, right?
From Atlantic City, but now reside in Philly.
From Atlantic City. Why'd you decide to make the move from AC to Philly?
Oh, actually, at the time, 2007, I was, really trying to record a lot.
Okay.
I stacked my money up, by different means, and it wasn't really a lot of stable studios. One would be up, and then one would be down. Next week, then I had to go here, and they're not available. Guys weren't answering the phone. They weren't really being that professional. So, I had to find, it was either move to Philly or move to New York. And at the time, the lady I was talking to, who's still my girlfriend to this day, she was living in Philly, so I was like, might as well make it easy for myself. Move to Philly, I can be close to her, and I can pursue my career at the same time.
Okay.
Find a stable studio.
I've heard a number of people talk about the fact that the climate here is good to a point, and then after a certain point, you almost have to make that move out of town.
Well, I've noticed like some of the more successful artists from this area don't actually live in this area anymore. You know what I mean? Like you look at someone like Code of the Streets. I think he lives in Dallas now.
Okay.
Before that, he was living in Miami for a little bit. You know what I mean? And, one of my guys from our group from New Hustle Entertainment, Trump, he's been doing way better in Atlanta than he ever did here. You know what I mean? He's only been here probably a year and a half. He's already made contacts with one of the #1 DJs in the area. He's working closely with that guy as far as doing songs, getting on his mixtapes. He's got a record with Troy Ave, who's an artist from New York, who's actually starting to bubble now. So it's just kind of amazing that once you leave this area, if you're still driven and you're talented, things happen for you.
Wow. Okay. So right now, tonight we're talking about women in hip hop, and more specifically, does hip hop hate women? And you hear a lot of talk about sexism in hip hop. What's your take on women in hip hop right now in 2014?
I feel it's necessary, but right now it's not really that much of a visible presence by the women in the mainstream, so to speak.
Okay.
There are actually a lot of women in the underground that have a lot of talent, a lot of bars, but once again, because people are so driven to listen to what the machine says, they feel like that if the machine isn't supporting women, then women don't exist, which is not the case. We have to get out of that mind frame of waiting for Universal and Warner and Sony to tell us who's hot and what to pay attention to, and actually do the groundwork ourselves. Yeah.
Especially because there's only like 3 or 4 major labels.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, and a lot of those labels are directly connected to mainstream radio.
Exactly. Then the funny thing about it, those labels are actually owned by European companies, some German, some French. So it's like, why would they care about the United States woman hip hop's appeal to American people?
Yeah.
All they care about is making money.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what I call stripper culture, and it seems to me that stripper culture is become mainstream. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it definitely has become mainstream. Attributed to certain rappers kind of bringing it back. Because when we were talking about earlier with Luke, Luke kind of really set it off, I think, when it came to hip hop and strip clubs and strippers. But over the course of the past 4 or 5 years, it's definitely become a bigger factor now. You know what I mean? Like songs like for T-Pain, I Fell in Love with a Stripper.
Right.
Drake with the Houston, Atlanta, Vegas records. With all the guys now, football players, getting caught in social media, making it rain like Pat Man Jones in the club. That seems to be, a new reoccurrence back into the mainstream. And to me, I think it's pointless. I mean, I'm not gonna knock anybody for trying to get their hustle, trying to get your money where you're trying to get it. But I'm not gonna promote to young brothers that they should take their money and give it to a woman who has no actual interest in them.
All right. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. And for those of you who don't know, we do this every Saturday night. It's called Live Saturday Night. And not only do we do it live here with the studio audience, we also are on Ustream. So whether you're in California, whether you're in Atlanta, whether you're in Atlantic City, you can check out our talk and our discussion live on Ustream. Thanks again, Rick Sean.
No problem, man. Thank you.